got mail. Good morning, everybody. You are tuned to Computers 2K now on the Nissan Communications Network. I am on your host for the next hour, along with Katie.
Good morning.
Good morning. Nick will join us a little bit later. Spence woke up not feeling well, so he's not going to be here. Gal also is visiting with his son, so he's not going to be here. So it's Katie and I, and then Nick will join us later.
Mm. You're
I
trapped in a room with me.
Yeah. Our number is 919-518-9773. Computers 2K Voice on Skype. And today's show is made possible by vMix Software and is sponsored by Tom Sinclair of Live Streaming Gear. It was sort of like a slow week computer wise.
Yeah, I believe it. It's the week before Christmas.
Yeah.
Everybody's just
Yeah.
looking forward to the holiday.
People have other priorities that they are taking care of, which
Yep.
is understandable and yeah, it's fine. Um, we were talking before the show about Chinese spying, and one of them is a sophisticated and ongoing supply chain attack operating for the past year has been stealing sensitive login credentials from both malicious and benevolent uh, security personnel by infecting them with Trojanized versions of open source software from GitHub
Mm.
and NPM. The campaign, first reported 3 weeks ago by security firm Checkmarks, and again on last Friday by Datadog Security Labs, uses multiple avenues to infect the devices of researchers in security and other technical fields. One is through packages that have been available on open source repositories for over a year. They install a professionally developed backdoor that takes pains to conceal its presence. The unknown threat actors behind the campaign have also employed spear phishing that targets thousands of researchers who publish papers on the ArcZiv platform. Um, GitHub.
Wait, they're downloading essentially viruses from GitHub. Why are they downloading non-company approved
I have no
stuff
idea.
on
I
their
mean,
work laptops? That's a big no-no.
well, yeah,
And
I
not
mean,
only that,
for a
but it's open
researcher,
source.
I agree. For researchers, yeah.
I
But
mean, every time I get a work laptop, I have to jump through hoops. Like whenever I need to download something that is software or whatever, immediately I get a notice that says, "Hey, you can't download this unless you contact IT. Do you want to contact IT?" And then I contact IT, and I have to send them the link to the thing I want to download, and they have to research it, and then they have to approve it, and then am able to download the thing.
that's the right way to do it.
Yeah, that's crazy that
Yeah.
these researchers are just
It's not practicing safe computing.
no.
Eh,
But if it's researchers, I don't know if they're working for a company or if they're just doing it on their own time. I don't know. Maybe
most
it
of
is
them
their
most of them do it on their own time, but that's not an excuse.
yeah. Yeah.
And those bad actors, I mean, they know how to convince you to do it. They make it sound like it's something that's going to help you and make your research better and who knows. But
And it
I mean,
might. Like so if when people like when I go to look at open source stuff, it's usually for convenience. Like there's a problem that regular software can't solve that I can't purchase, and somebody has come up with a solution and they made it open source. And I'm always hesitant to download because of that exact reason. I'm
Yeah,
worried. So I do research on it as much as I can, and then when it has history and a lot of people have commented about it, and then I'll download it. But I could definitely see if they had something that needed to be more convenient, and maybe the thing they downloaded solves that problem, but it also slips in the bad thing.
that's the thing. I mean, that's not saying that the program that they are sending you to get, that it's not going to be a legitimate program that
Yeah,
really can help you and make things more convenient, but that's the problem.
yeah, yeah. They slip it in.
And yeah,
It's a wolf in sheep's clothing. You get the
that's
whole
exactly
herd.
what it is. Yep.
You get the whole herd, but one of them's a wolf.
Yeah. And talking about hiding behind and spying and all that, hackers aligned with the Chinese government have infiltrated US telecommunications infrastructure
Oh.
so deeply that it allowed the interception of unencrypted communications on a number of people, according to reports that first emerged in October. The operation, dubbed Salt Typhoon, apparently allowed hackers to listen to phone calls and nab text messages. And the penetration has been so extensive, they haven't even been booted from the telecom networks yet.
See, I hear things like this and I'm like, and the government's going after TikTok.
I know, yeah,
Like
absolutely.
it's just so ridiculous.
Yep,
And I hear telecommunications and that just makes me think of social media on everybody's phones. And meanwhile, you actually have like legit hackers in everybody's phone with the telecommunication. They're like, yeah, but TikTok.
yeah. Well, because this is something they can go after.
Yeah.
By the way, TikTok was also going to be banned in the EU because of security stuff. The EU is starting procedures.
Yeah, we'll see.
Yeah, I don't know.
TikTok makes
Uh,
too much money.
the Cybersecurity and Infrastructure Security Agency issued guidance this week on best practices for protecting highly targeted individuals, which includes a new warning about text messages. It says, do not use SMS as a second factor for authentication. SMS messages are not encrypted. A threat actor with access to a telecommunication provider's network who intercepts these messages can read them. SMS MFA is not phishing resistant and is therefore not strong authentication for accounts of highly targeted individuals. The guidance, which has been posted online, reads, and again, this is, you really have to be somebody that they want to go after.
Yeah,
That
because if
you,
they just had this blanket over everybody, they'd be getting a lot of booty calls and
yeah.
inappropriate pictures
Well,
that
no, and
people
they
sent.
don't have time to look at everything.
Yeah. I think at
Um,
that point, if you become an individual that's going to be targeted by hackers and stuff, I don't think you're relying on text message sign in things. I know even some of my stuff that they've actually done away with text message here like send you the code. They've done authentication apps like a Google Authenticator
yeah,
app or Microsoft one, and like Etsy has switched over the past few years. They don't do well, they might do text messages. I don't know, but mine doesn't anymore. Mine, I have to go into the authentication. Oh my god, it's such a hard word to say. But yeah, those apps to get the code,
yeah, and
and then we're
a phone call or an email is better than SMS.
yeah. That's what you know what I noticed too is a lot of the apps that have a desktop version like Gmail
Yeah,
you also have the app on your phone. Facebook does it too, but they if you log into a new thing, it checks through the app. So if you haven't logged into your Facebook in a long time or your Gmail and you log in and it's like, "Oh, we wanna make sure you're legit. Check your device and say it's you or whatever." And so then I go to my phone and it's like, "Hey, this person logged in at this time at this location. Is this you?" And you
Right.
hit yes.
Yeah. Yeah. There are ways, and you can finagle also, and companies can make it a little more effective, even with SMS maybe.
Yeah.
But I know that there are some like there are. I mean, I know our bank prefers SMS or to verify that it's you, and I'm saying why?
Yeah.
So not every service even allows for multi-factor authentication, and sometimes text messages are the only option. Yep. But when you have a choice, it's better to use phishing resistant methods like passkeys or authenticator apps.
There you go. Yeah.
Yep. Now they keep saying that they're only really speaking about high value targets. I mean, you're not if you're gonna rob a place, you're not gonna go after a place that you know is not making any money and they may have like $20 in the register. You go where there's a lot of money, and that's the same thing here. These guys go after,
Mhm.
but it's bad. It's
Yeah.
really bad. Katie, where's your router?
In the room next to my office.
Which one? Do you know which one you have?
AT&T.
Okay. Oh yeah, that's right.
Yeah, I run a Ethernet cable, from the rooms, and so I always say
Uh,
my house is booby trapped because the cord is just on the floor.
Oh well, Congress approved a $3 billion dollars Wednesday for a long languishing project to call Chinese equipment from networks nationwide over fears they are vulnerable to cyber attacks. Underscoring the risk Beijing sponsored hackers pose to phone and internet networks, the new funding comes as a commercial as the Commerce Department reviews whether to ban routers made by the Chinese owned company TP-Link, which accounts for more than half of the US retail router market.
Dang. Also, if the solution is that the routers have to be made in the US, I think that would mean that all of the parts have to be made in the US.
Yeah,
Because if like, even if one little chip, they import it,
right.
that chip could have a bad actor on it.
Yep. Yep. It's it's a problem. I mean, when you're talking about uh half the US retail home use. I mean, because those TP-Link are mainly for home home use. That's a big problem.
Mhm. Hopefully you have, news or articles that are more happy, because so far it's just been doom and gloom
Yeah, I know.
attacking.
Well, I mean, this is warnings. People need to know about this.
Yeah.
It is you can't just sit back. And the truth is, I have a TP-Link router uh that I use as an access point.
How do you know if you have a TP-Link router?
What?
How do you know if you have a TP-Link router? Does it, like,
Oh,
say
it's
on there?
oh, TP-Link is a name brand. Yeah,
Oh, it's a brand.
it's
Oh,
a
okay.
brand. Yeah, it'll say on it in big TP-Link. So again, they can do it, but I don't think they're going to come after the home users.
Yeah,
Even
they gotta
though,
get, Mrs. Betty's, cookie recipe, world famous.
well, I mean, they may. It depends who. Somebody sits there and says, "Oh wow, look at this. Yeah, let's get that." But I mean, you do need. This is all like so realize there are problems out there that we may not think about. Now, unfortunately, a lot of the routers, most of the routers for home use are made in China.
Yeah.
So, waiting to see what they're going to recommend to change. If you have a TP-Link, what are you supposed to change it to?
A lot of stuff's made in China. Like,
Yeah,
if the router is not listening, the microwave's listening, or the refrigerator, or whatever, those little gadgets that you get off of Temu, like,
right.
at this point, nothing is safe.
That's how you supposed to think, and you need
And
to
yet
all,
they wanna take down TikTok.
and they want to take TikTok.
Meanwhile, everybody's downloading the Temu app and buying this cheap crap from overseas.
Oh well, it's priorities again. And another one that's not happy that we just mentioned. So they said the U.S. government is urging senior government officials and politicians to ditch phone calls and text messages following intrusions at major American telecommunications companies blamed on Chinese hackers. The first recommendation: use only end to end encrypted communications. End to end encryption, a data protection technique which aims to make data unreadable by anyone except its sender and its recipient. It's and that technology is baked into various chat apps, including WhatsApp, Apple iMessage, and the privacy focused app Signal. Neither regular phone calls nor text messages are end to end encrypted, which means they can be monitored either by the telephone companies, law enforcement, or potentially hackers who've broken into the phone company's infrastructure.
Which we know because
Yeah, they
we
already
just
said
read an article about it.
right. But you need to think about this and kind of adjust. Um, shoot, Katie, I'm going to give you something to talk about because I need to go. I see the puppy is.
Amnon got a puppy. Oh, you're leaving it to me? My brain is empty Sunday morning. This is too much responsibility.
Well, I talk about 3D printing, about the
Okay.
business.
Okay. I'll update everybody. So this Christmas went really well. I got into TikTok's Black Friday promotion, I guess you can say. It's where they shops in good standing that have good reviews and good customer support or whatever can apply to get like essentially free advertising. And this was for their Black Friday sale and I got in. And so it launched November 13th and I've been scrambling ever since because it, a lot of orders, which is awesome. And I joke and say my house looks like an Amazon warehouse just because there's boxes everywhere. So, but it's been good. I've got 14 printers. I'd like to get more. I wanna double these numbers next year, but I just don't have space. So I'm working on that. And if people are interested, my 3D printing, I use Bamboo. That's the company. They make very good printers. There's another company that does Creality. They make also really good printers, but they also do Ender 3 printers, which is the entry level. So I think it's like $150 or $200, but I wouldn't bother messing with those because nothing is uh automated. So like you have to self level, you have to do this, you have to do that. So the rate of failure is really high unless you like tinkering. Some people really like messing around and tweaking stuff. Not me. I'm one and done. I like to push a button and let it go and not have to worry about it. So but Bamboo has a good entry level printer which is also I think it's $200. So it's really really good entry point. And it has all that self leveling stuff. So I feel like at this point, Bamboo should pay me to promote their printers. That's what that's what I have. It gets really hot in my printer room. I had to buy an AC unit specifically for the room because if when all in that room I have 9 printers, and when all 9 printers are going full steam, it can get like 85 degrees in that room. Closer to 90 in the summer, so I was like, "Ah, I've gotta get an AC unit so that runs." Um, but yeah, things are going well with that. Uh, I will say switching gears to, um, AI stuff, Gall sent me a new AI website. What is it? Perplexitia? Per PERPLEXITY and I've been using it recently, and it's pretty awesome. It's kind of like ChatGPT, very similar, but what it includes is references to what it's getting, where it's getting the information. So Bing does that as well, where if you go and you type in a question on Bing, a little AI section will pop up and it will respond in a paragraph and it'll give you the information, but it also will link you to the articles or the websites or the videos, whatever, where it got that information. And this AI perplexity also does that within the UI that looks like ChatGPT. So I've been using that and it's been pretty nifty. You're back. Good. I got scared.
No, there's nothing for you to be scared about. You can do fine.
Yeah. Well, good because I ran out of stuff to talk about. 3D printing and then the new AI app I was using.
And so there's a new ChatGPT coming out.
Yeah, that's separate. So they were hinting at ChatGPT 5, which is supposed to be like a bazillion light years ahead of ChatGPT 4, and it's supposed to granted the information I read was very limited. Um, and I just quickly skimmed it, but it sounds like it's able to analyze not just text, but videos, audio, and all kinds of other media than just text. So I'm excited. I really enjoy all this AI stuff. I know it's controversial, but it helps me when I ask it a question and it's like, oh yeah, here's this thing. And then it directs me where I need to learn more information. I love it.
Yeah. No, that's perfect.
I'm not using it like those dumb lawyers do to make up cases. So I don't have to worry about that. But I do like that this new AI website or company or whatever you want to call it that actually links to the information so I can go to the source itself and read it. That's nice.
Yeah, and now even when you go with Google, I mean, it's got the at the top, it's got the AI stuff, but like I said, it's most of the time it's wrong.
Yeah, I it's garbage.
It is.
Because what it's doing is what I notice is that it's just scanning the first few links and it's just summarizing the stuff that it's finding, but it's not necessarily accurate information. Uh and it literally what I've noticed that more often than not, if it doesn't really understand what it wants, it'll just grab like snippets, like this is what this said, and this is what that said. Um and I don't know. I end up just skipping it because it's been wrong way too many times for me to I if it's something that doesn't really matter too much, like, for instance, I had to look up the other day something about my Roku. My Roku was being weird, and so I, went to Google the issue I was having, and it got its information from, like, the Roku website, so I was like, "Oh, okay, this is probably legit." But some of the other questions that I ask, I'm like, "This doesn't sound right."
Yeah. Yeah, it's a shame. It's actually makes life harder. Many times I find myself using other search engines just so I don't have to put up with all the
Yeah,
wrong
and
information. I mean, and we got used to you search, you get how to do this, and you get information, and now it's hey, that's not going to do it.
Yeah. And it's not to say that the other AI stuff doesn't give you wrong information either, but, like, when it comes to Google, I feel like I expect better. Like,
Well, you would, but they are using us as guinea pig.
I know, and a lot of people use Google as an authority,
Yep.
on research or, like, like, that's the first place people go to. Like, with the other AI stuff, I'm cautious about what I'm reading, like, already my brain is, like, cautious about it, and I'm cautious on Google too, like, you kinda have to be, but my first instinct isn't just to, like, whatever I read to be like, "Oh, this is incorrect." Uh, so, I don't know. Like you said, I'm just so disappointed with it.
Yeah, and it's hard to not hard, it's impossible to know right off the bat, hey, something is wrong here.
Yeah,
Because you say,
yeah,
okay, how do I do this? And the first suggestion is go here, go here. It looks legitimate, but after a while, I realized, oh, okay, they got information from an expired page somewhere,
yeah.
and that's not the way to do it anymore. There's a newer way of doing this, and you do it again and again and again. You say, well, how many times am I going to do this? And so I skip all the first part.
Yeah, you know what? You exactly nailed it because when I Google a question, I am going through the
Mm.
list of websites and mentally turning away ones that I don't recognize. Like if I ask it a question and I need information, like a quick information about learning something new, if I see Wikipedia, I'm like, okay, Wikipedia is a good place to start. But if it's somebody's, like, random blog, I'm gonna pick the Wikipedia first to look at. But what the AI with Google does is that when it presents the information, it doesn't necessarily pick the best website, and so it's like you read it and you're like, "Wait, that sounds weird," and then you can check the source and be like, "Oh, that source is weird," or, like, I naturally do it when I'm looking at the websites, like, which websites I know have more credibility than the other ones. That's not to say you can't look at the other ones, but, like, when I'm first looking up something, I go to the ones that I recognize.
Yeah, well, that's this is how you do it the right way, but they kinda push you. I mean, it's like we have to learn how to use searches now
Yeah.
to realize, no, you can't go with this and you can't go with that, and no, it's in most of I mean, it's not life-threatening, but it
No.
makes things a lot harder, um,
It could be life-threatening. I was looking up
well,
something the other day about baking soda and baking powder, not that they necessarily can kill you, but I, um I was trying to figure out so I was working with super glue and I was like, "Oh yeah, if you add baking soda, it'll make it bond faster or whatever." And then I was like, "Wait," but then the AI said baking powder and I was like, "Okay, so which is it? Baking soda or
yeah,
baking powder?" And I couldn't trust what Google was giving me with the AI because I'm like, "I don't know." And then these are like chemical reactions. So it's like, well, I don't want to mess around with this. I need to find
right.
a reliable source because who knows, I might end up creating some kind of chemical bomb
Oh,
in my
yeah.
kitchen.
Yeah, yeah.
But yeah, I just did that the other day. I was like, because my super glue was taking a lot longer to activate or whatever, and I was like, man, there's got to be a faster way to do this, and I looked it up, and there's like, yeah, just add this, and I was like, wait, but which is it?
Oh, good, good. People, you need to learn. I mean, I really don't use I used AI, I think, once just to do a letter. So I'm not an authority on how to do it right,
You
but
know
you
what?
are, obviously.
I use a lot of AI. I don't use it. Let me think of a way. I use it for brainstorming. So I'll have an idea that I want to do, and I'll ask it like, "Hey, I have this problem. Like, what do you think? How would you solve this? Or what do you think about?" And then it would give me like a list of suggestions, and from there, it would help me figure out where I want to go. Because I don't know what I don't know. So uh, and then to get into the nitty-gritty, I go to the resources and I don't necessarily use AI to get to the specifics unless it's code-based. If it's code-based, I'll copy what it gives me and I'll mess around with it to see. how it works, and generally it works how I want it. Granted, I'm not doing anything too complicated. But you have to use AI and be adaptable and kind of fluid. Like I always say, it's like an intern. Like
Did
you gotta.
you ever look for something and you read what it tells you and you said, "No, you're wrong. That's wrong. That's I
Uh,
already see that this is beginning from the beginning. This is wrong because
no,
I did."
not necessarily. I did well when I was using it. Okay, so when I was using it for game dev, and this was when it was ChatGPT 3 and ChatGPT 4. So
Uh-huh.
ChatGPT 3 only had information up to 2021.
Right.
And so when I was trying to do coding stuff, it was wrong a lot because the game dev software I was using has updated since then. At the time, so they were so but ChatGPT 4 had that information because it updated their database. So the free version kept getting a lot of stuff wrong, which was kind of frustrating. I didn't realize I ended up asking it. I was like, "Hey, what version of this software do you have in your knowledge base?" And they're like, "Oh, we have software 1.0." And I
Uh,
was using 3.0. So it was like two versions old. I was like, "Ah, okay, that would be why." So it doesn't necessarily mean it was wrong, just the information it had was wrong.
yeah. Well, so but you never found anything that
No, because I'm asking like general questions. Uh not something like, what's the formula on the periodic table of this, and it give me like if it's like a definite factual answer. I don't know. I haven't asked anything like that.
Hey, Katie, John is asking, do you have a website where you sell your items?
Yes, I sell on Etsy and I sell on TikTok. Etsy is so hard to search for things, but my store name is called Enchanted Forge 3D. So, but it's closed right now because of the holiday season. Finishing out the orders, and then I'll open it back up in the new year. So if
Uh,
you might go to the page and it will be like, "Oh, this store is on hiatus or vacation mode."
Is there no is there no link from your website? You still have the website?
I do, and no, there's
There's
no
there
link.
are no links from there to.
No, because I don't. My website is specifically for work, and this is
Okay. Well,
side
this
stuff.
is your work.
Yeah, but it's not my career work.
It's not your real job.
Yeah,
Oh, that's bad.
I mean, maybe you could put my link on Computers 2K now.
Yeah, that's what I
Hey,
need to
Nick's
do.
here. Thank you. Save us, Nick. I'm
So
then
you're talking about not having real jobs, and then I pop in. What's that all
no,
about?
no. I'm then had
Sounds it
to
sounds like you're talking about me behind my back, but that's fine.
I'm then had to leave, and I had to talk for 5 minutes by myself, and I
Welcome to my world,
panicked.
Katie.
I panicked. I was like, I don't know what to talk about. So I just started talking about 3D printing.
Nice. How's that going?
Excellente. It's
Busy
going.
for Christmas?
Oh Lord, yes.
Nice.
I've never had so many orders in my life, and I had to shut down my store actually this weekend because I need to finish up the orders I do have, and then I need a break because I've been going nonstop since November.
Excellent. John is asking if you have a website where you sell your items. You want to post
Yeah,
that in the chat.
yeah, I have Etsy. Or wait, I guess I could access the chat. Hold on, I'm dumb. I don't know. I don't ever have it open. I guess I do need to have it open. Um, computers. Okay, now. Um, there's the chat. Ooh, this is weird. I can hear myself. Oh, there we go. Okay, now I can get that Etsy link. Fill
Perfect.
the dead air.
What's going on, Amnon? Oh, maybe he stepped away.
Oh, he got a new puppy.
Amnon did?
I know. That's what I
Oh,
said.
wow.
Here's my website.
That's surprising.
Yes, absolutely insane. He's like, "Oh yeah, by the way, I got a puppy," and I was like, "Ah!"
Okay, so you shut. Okay, so you're So you can't currently order anything from you.
No, I put it on break the other day because
Okay. So
I need to.
stop me when I'm getting too in depth with my too in depth with my questions.
Okay.
How many orders do you have outstanding? And are you still doing everything solo? Do you have anybody helping you with stuff, or are you still
So
just rocking and rolling?
yes and no. I'm mostly solo, but I have friends that also own 3D printers that help manufacture for me. And then every now and then a friend will come over and help me box.
Okay.
Um, Outstanding orders, I just have about 50, which is
That's a
good.
lot though.
Yeah, well, when it was peak, I had like 250 and I was just like, "Oh my god." So much. I need to do my final count, but I think I crossed over the 1200 order mark.
Wow.
So, it's been a
Nice.
lot.
Congratulations.
Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, it's
Katie's my hero.
But your
yeah, it's
problem was more the shipping, the more
uh
not the work.
oh yeah, I mean it takes a while. Like I can I think I can do maybe 10 to 15 orders an hour like boxing.
Do you have a
Um
Dymo? How are you printing your shipping labels?
Zebra. What is it called?
Zebra
Yeah,
printer.
Zebra.
Okay.
It's funny, the Zebra is so reliable. I bought it off of eBay years ago and it's a 2006 Zebra laser printer or whatever and it's
Yep.
a workhorse.
I have a Dymo label writer 450. Absolutely phenomenal.
Yeah, I keep thinking I mean, it's pretty bare bones. Like you can only hook it up with a wire. Like there's no Wi-Fi or anything on it because it's
Sure.
from 2006. And some of my other friends that are getting into online shipping stuff, like, oh, did you download the app? Like, do you have this? I was like, listen, my thing does not have an app. Like,
Yeah, there is no app. Yeah,
yeah, it's a grandpa.
yeah. Had nothing wrong with that if it works.
No, yeah,
I mean those laser printers, or is it a thermal printer or a laser printer?
thermal. I didn't mean to say
I mean,
laser.
well
Yeah,
those things sit in service for 40 years at grocery stores and any place that's printing out receipts. They're reliable as hell.
yeah, it's pretty neat.
They work forever.
The only thing is, I don't know if it's the what is it called? Not the I guess it's the software. Sometimes the communication between the computer and the printer gets messed up, and it won't recognize that I'm sending it a print job, and I
Mhm.
have to like restart. And sometimes that
Mm.
doesn't work. It has good days and bad days, but for the most part, it works fine.
Sounds like something to do probably with the fact that it's an older device with a driver that's not probably
That's it, driver. Yeah,
wholly supported on the operating system.
yeah, that's what I'm thinking too.
Yeah, when they, I mean, even in big business, you have those little printers that are like the shipping labels,
Yeah,
and they were made like workhorses, and they lasted, but the operating system changed, and you hear people complaining, say, "Well, my label printer, I'm not going to spend another $800 or another $900 now just to go with this and that." And the company always, from what I know, the companies that make those printers and the drivers will keep the customers happy, and they'll fix and update after they hear enough complaints, though. So, but
yeah.
yeah,
So Emma, what is this that Katie's telling me? You got a new dog?
yeah, we got another dog,
Nice.
a friend for Gaia.
Well, what does Gaia think about that?
In the first few days, neither of them liked.
Well, I'm sure. Gaia's like, what the hell you doing here?
Huh?
Guy was probably like, what the hell you
Yeah.
doing here?
Well,
Like,
now they like it. I mean, we got it because so Gaia would have somebody to play with, and
so it wasn't for you at all.
oh, it's Gary. Look, of course it's for
So
us.
so yeah,
Yeah.
so you nothing for you.
I
Nothing for
mean,
you.
Kathy
Nothing
was
for you or
against
Kathy.
it,
Just
and but Hannah and I decided no, we're going to do it. And Gaia is getting older, and when she passes, boy, Kathy is going to be devastated. And
how old is
to,
Gaia? You've had her for a
she's
while.
16. She's a little bit over 16.
Yeah.
So we figured, having another dog will do it. Well, and it's working fine so far. It's
You gonna
not a
do
puppy. I mean, she's a year old.
so it's an adult. Yeah.
I mean, I think
I think pets become adults at a year. Isn't
I
that
think
like
for
the
Yeah, she
dogs
already
is
had
2 years.
puppies.
oh.
She
Cats,
already
it's a
had
year.
puppies? Lord have
Yeah,
mercy.
Uh-oh.
yeah.
Some questionable behavior going on.
Yeah. You gotta
She
sit her
but
down
she's
and have
still
to talk.
behaving. She's still behaving like a puppy. So it's
I think dogs are considered uh uh puppies slash teenagers until they're 2, and then after that they're full blown adults.
oh.
Then it's for cats that it's 1. They
Yeah.
become adult cats at 1.
Yeah, cats are crazy. They can start popping out babies after like a couple months or whatever it is.
Mm.
Yeah. See your cat hanging out behind you,
Yeah,
chilling in the
he's
window.
chilling on the
Yeah.
windowsill. I opened up the window so he can be a nosy neighbor.
My cat's freaking out.
So what's
Good times.
happening, Nick?
Not much. Getting ready for some Christmas travel tomorrow.
You're leaving
Leaving
tomorrow morning or
tomorrow
after work?
night.
Oh,
Tomorrow night.
oh,
So I'm working tomorrow morning. Heading to the Great Tundra, where my mom texted me this morning, and it is currently feels like negative 15 degrees.
God,
So
Crud.
jeez, you
ready
crazy. Why
to
don't
make my
they
my
should come
trek.
down here?
Well, it's not them. It's my grandparents who are not
Yeah.
I'm about
traveling.
to
Plus,
head
my
to
sister
Maine.
lives there. To hell with that.
I know. Well, last year we went up for Christmas, and I think we must have brought the southern weather with us because it was like 50s.
It's not going to be like that this year.
Dang. Well, gotta have to bring extra blankets.
Traveling with or flying, I should say, with winter apparel is damn near impossible.
Yeah,
Like
you
I'm
already
not going to be
don't
able
have
to
enough
pack.
room.
I'm not going to be able to pack any. Well, for half my suitcase is going to be a radio station, and then the other half's going to be like a pair of jeans and a couple of shirts, and I'm just going to have to make everything else work because I just don't have room for anything. I'll be working remote for a couple days.
Nice.
All right. So let's see what else is here. Um, I don't know that many people use Skype anymore.
I tell you what, man, Discord killed Skype.
Yep.
I mean, you go back like a decade, and you had TeamSpeak and Ventrilo, which were audio chat services, pretty much only audio. There was text, but it was not. It was very limited, and you had to be connected to even talk in the chat. And then Skype came out. Skype had been out. Microsoft acquired Skype, and that was super popular. Skype group chats. I mean, that's how we kind of first started chatting. And then Discord came out and just brought like a form, like a traditional website form, voice chat, and then video chat and all of that stuff into one platform, and just really cannibalize the entire market. The only
Well,
people that use Skype now are people that are calling into television stations and doing like remote interviews. I don't know that anybody else is using Skype, and if you're doing anything business wise, it's all Zoom
yeah.
I prob-
or Google Meet. I don't know. The only time I have used Skype this entire year was when I was on Newsmax. Is that I would use Skype for that.
And they will
I'm a
not allow you to use Zoom to get in?
No, because they've got a Skype appliance
Okay.
that they use to
Yeah.
connect to
So that
their
makes
video
sense. Yeah,
system.
absolutely.
So really outside of and I know CNN still uses Skype because when they have a guest on, it'll say, some jackass from whatever via Skype. Um, but outside of that, I don't know anybody that's using Skype
So
for anything.
here it is. Bad news for anyone out there who still uses Skype. The Microsoft owned phone and messages platform has quietly stopped letting users top up accounts
Yep.
with credit and buy Skype phone numbers.
Mhm.
Instead, Skype is locking into SaaS, SaaS mode, SaaS. It's pushing users to take monthly subscriptions for regional and global Skype to phone plans for a set monthly fee, like likely impacting millions of people. The most
Sure.
recent figures Microsoft released for Skype last year said it had 36 million daily active users.
Well, it does. I mean, I'm considered a daily active user. It still is open on my computer all the
Yeah.
time. I don't use it. I couldn't tell you the last time there was a message in a Skype account. but it launches with Windows and it logs into the account.
Yeah,
Then I
the
don't
I
bother
only
haven't
closing it.
touched Skype in 10 years. So
that I
It's
here
probably been
it's probably been what?
trying to think when was the last time we used Skype religiously. I mean, it was before I moved to North Carolina.
Yeah, this was
So
when
it's
you
been
were doing.
at least 8 years or at least 7.5 years. It's probably been close to a decade for us too, Amnon.
and I
Yeah,
didn't and when I
I
used
mean,
it, I didn't even use it every day or whatever. Like, I barely used it because I didn't really like the user face, and it was weird. And, at the time, because I played a lot of video games, there was a precursor to Discord called Curse, a
First, yeah.
and
From
I
what who
used
owned that Corsair, I think, or somebody?
something like that, and, I used that all the time because it would automatically party up people into the
Mhm.
server who were playing together. Um, yeah, that's just Skype.
Yeah, Cursed
Yeah.
is pretty good. Is that still around? Or
No,
did somebody
it got bought, and I think,
gotcha.
I can't think of what that company their logo is a wolf, but they're the ones that do a lot of mods for games.
Oh, Shadow Wolf or whatever it is?
Yeah, yeah, I
It's a
think they got
red,
Red Wolf,
logo.
yeah. I
Yeah,
think
Red Wolf
they
something,
got
yeah.
bought by them, and then I don't know what happened to it. I think,
Gotcha.
well, Discord came around and it died.
Yeah. Just literally monopolize, like, the entire internet and video chat, and it's not like it just not that it just killed Skype, and there are still popular forums and things like that. But I think it did a huge in on, internet forums, because now
Oh,
you've
yeah.
got these specific Discord servers
Communities.
for
Yeah.
whatever it might be, whether it's cars, video games. I'm in a couple of, like, retro tech, Discord servers that I subscribe to a couple Patreons that are in that sphere, and they've all kinda teamed up, and they're all kind of in one Discord server.
Well, what's
Um
interesting is that it headed that direction because companies didn't want to pay for forms to moderate and build their own form system and pay for this. They can do Discord for free, and a lot of businesses are like, "Hey, if you need to reach out to us, here's our Discord." And it's some of them is fan things that turn official, like, and especially in the game dev community, a lot of the software and stuff have official Discord communities.
Mhm.
So
Well, yeah, that's well, and it's funny. You go to, like, a lot of especially startup websites, and typically a website has like a knowledge base, which is where they keep um all their support,
yeah.
help desk articles and things. Now you go to websites and it says, "Oh, need support? Join our Discord," and
Yep.
that's literally where that conversation is happening. Um, it's going to be interesting. Sooner rather than later, I presume Discord is going to have to start charging somebody to use the service.
Well, a lot of people pay for the Nitro stuff.
I don't think that's enough, though. Like, for example, I've got 3 private Discord servers. When I say private, I mean I am literally the only person in them, and
Oh,
I
yeah,
use
same.
them for sending, so I can easily send links back and forth between my phone and computer.
I do that
Uh,
too.
it's how like, they're making no money on us, Katie, yet we're uploading data. And I guess it's not using a lot of bandwidth, but at
so
some
are
point, they're
they
gonna have to
so are
limit
they
that.
still funded by venture?
I mean,
Yes, and Nitro, their
they
subscription
they make
service.
a lot
Okay.
of money too after ads and collaborations because
Are there ads, though? Where do
yeah,
you see ads on Discord?
every time I open up Discord, in the bottom left hand, I'm gonna open it up right now. Of course, I closed it. But at the bottom left hand, over above your icon, it's like, oh, this new game, Fortnite, or Fortnite dropped a new patch. Here's the skin. Get it
Oh, okay.
exclusively through this or whatever. So it's kind of like Twitch in that when you go on Twitch, they partner up with game companies and stuff. At least for me, it's targeted towards game companies, which maybe that's the only thing they have.
Sure.
Uh, but that pops up on my screen.
No,
But yeah, I mean,
but
I wouldn't
here
mind paying
there.
for it.
I mean
No, I
here.
neither would I. If they said, "Hey, Nick, it's gonna cost you $5 a month and you can have up to ten servers that you're the owner of," I'd say, "Okay." No, no, I would not bat an
Yeah.
eye at it twice. It is absolute. I don't know that I use anything more on my computer more than Discord. And like I was
Wow.
mentioning, it's not like I'm chatting with people. I'm literally using it
Yeah,
for keeping
back end
track of.
stuff.
Yeah, I've got one for my personal stuff,
At
and
this
then stuff
point,
for the radio show, and then
it's a
just a
cloud
random one.
service.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah,
And it's
because
easy as hell to use.
I use it that way too. Um, yeah, I don't pay for the Nitro or the professional subscription because the free stuff, it does everything I need.
Exactly.
Well, I'm still using Skype here as the Skype number. When you call in, you
Sure.
call to the show, it's a Skype, and I do have a yearly subscription. So I don't know how it's going to affect.
Well,
Uh,
I'll tell you what, this is now that you know that this is happening, it's
mhm.
probably time to start looking. Well, you
Look,
could
yeah,
easily port that number over to what are you using? Anvio still for your other stuff?
I can probably. I mean, this was a Skype number to begin with, so I don't
Yeah,
know.
but it doesn't matter. They can
Yeah,
still
so yeah,
they're
so
but
and you know what?
you should do that
Yeah,
before they shut it all
that's a very
down.
good point.
Port
You
it over
know,
to Anvio and install a SIP client and just use that and you'll be fine.
I don't even have. Well, yeah, I could do that. That's easier said than done. You can do
No, it's
it.
not.
You
It's
can do
easy.
it.
I mean, yeah, okay, that's true, but it is
Yeah.
easy. I mean, you would literally install
All
what's the
all
really popular
all
SIP?
all I
Linphone or
mean,
something like that.
it's already set up on the mixer to go with the phone number. I can
That's what
get.
I'm saying. You would instead of using Skype, you would just literally use the same laptop
Yeah.
with a soft phone and call it
Yes,
a day.
and it'll be cheaper actually because
It
as
probably will
much as
be.
it's being used, it's going to be cheaper.
You should start the process now of trying to port the number and see if you can do that. And if not, get a new number on Anvio and then
Yeah,
you can set up forwarding for the time being. That's you the writing is on the which is so crazy because you would have assumed that Microsoft would have taken Skype and morphed it into Teams, and they
you would
really
think.
didn't do
Yeah.
that.
Uh,
Because Teams supports phone calling and all that
yeah, but
stuff as well.
team is a lot of weight.
I understand, but what I'm saying is from a business
Oh,
standpoint,
yeah, they
there used
should
to be
have.
Skype for Business, but I don't think that exists anymore. It's Teams, and it's just there's not really a place in the world for Skype anymore, except for
Yeah. That's probably
broadcast
why they're
television.
doing it. They're going to shed a lot of users when they do this, and that will may bring users
I haven't
to.
received a Skype message on my computer in almost 2.5
Well, the
years.
same thing here. I mean, I have it open here, but
Yeah.
nothing. Yeah, which is fine. Which is fine. I mean, I'm not complaining. I'm just, but that's good idea. I'm glad you mentioned that.
I always have great ideas.
Yes.
Mm, only the best.
Mhm. Correct. What I get paid for. I have great ideas.
All right.
So
She's
Katie's
after.
traveling, Amnon. I assume you're not for Christmas,
No, I'm
staying
here.
around.
I'm
Okay,
here.
good.
You'll have safe travels and
Thank you.
come back safe.
When are you leaving, Katie? You getting out before Christmas or after?
Yeah, Christmas Eve.
Nice.
It'll be fun.
Coolio.
All right.
Is
It,
Hanukkah on
it,
this? Is does Hanukkah like lines up with Christmas this year? Right?
yes,
How
first.
that doesn't? I was saying, when does that happen?
It's Wednesday evening is the first.
When no? When does? How often does that happen?
Oh, I
That
don't
it
know.
lines up?
I don't know. I don't
No,
keep up with that. I mean, I
you
think.
should keep up with it. You're our resident
Yeah.
Hanukkah expert.
Yeah. Yeah.
So that's pretty cool. So for those that celebrate both, it's truly,
All the presents.
yeah, truly everything with one, truly everything in one go around.
All right. Well, everybody have a Merry Christmas, and you can go ahead and wish all our audience also.
Yes, Merry Christmas,
And
everybody. Happy Hanukkah. Happy Festivus,
Kwanzaa and happy
Kwanzaa.
Hanukkah and happy everything.
Don't forget Festivus. Big one.
Oh yeah, for the rest of us.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yep. All right. Well, Nick, thanks for showing up.
Yeah, sorry I was a little late. Was
That's okay.
driving back.
That's all
Was
right. So you're gonna
spent
get
Christmas.
those Unix whatever.
Oh man, waiting for this, waiting for this lady to text me back. She, I'll mention this quickly. So there's somebody on Facebook Marketplace in Wilmington that is getting rid of a bunch of old Sun Microsystems
Mm-hmm.
computers and some DEC Alpha computers,
Deck
which I
Alpha, yeah.
definitely do not have the room for or the space or the time, but they're free. So
Mm.
apparently there's one person in front of me that is going to
Oh,
take a look at them. So we'll see if maybe they don't take all of it. I don't know.
well, you should have said, I don't need to look it. I'll come and take
I She just said I will reach out if the person in line does not take
it.
them.
All right.
So
Well,
I don't need them. It would be cool to have. I know I won't get to it. I've got a busy new year. Um, but cool opportunity. So we'll see if we can make it happen.
yeah. And John in the chat is saying Hanukkah begins this year on the 25th of the month. Of the month of Kislev, which is it always is like it's sometime November, December. I don't think, and sometimes it runs. Well, actually, this year, yeah, it'll run into January. It's 8 days, but on the Hebrew calendar, yeah. But I still don't know how often it is on the same,
Let's see.
and
How often?
it's
This is a great question for Chat GPT. This is when you ditch Google and you say, "How often is?"
Hanukkah.
I'm just trying to. I'm
H
looking at
A
John's
N
message.
U
I will admit I don't
O
spell
C
Hanukkah
H O C
ever.
H A N U. I mean
Chanukah.
Chanukah.
All right, let's see what old Chat GPT. It is relatively uncommon. It happened in 2015 and 2016.
So there's
Oh,
no
excuse me.
rhyme or
Oh,
reason.
So that's when
back to
Hanukkah
back.
starts on Christmas Day, 20,
Yeah.
2005 and 2016. Hanukkah overlaps with Christmas more often. In 2024, the last night of Hanukkah will coincide on Christmas Eve and Christmas Day. On average, Hanukkah and Christmas overlap every 15 to 20 years.
Oh,
So there you go.
okay.
Thanks.
So there's no rhyme or reason. It's
Well, it's got everything to do with well, you said it's what the Hebrew calendar. So
yeah.
whenever that stuff lines up, who knows?
Oh. So yeah. All right. So again, thanks, Nick.
Thank
Thanks,
you.
Katie.
No problem.
You all have again a Merry Christmas and safe trip up and down.
Thank you.
Oh, she told you where she's going in your direction. She's
Yeah,
going even
she's going
northern
further
than
north
that.
than me. Yeah,
Yeah.
I know.
My body
And
is not ready.
Merry Christmas to Spence and Happy Hanukkah, Gal. And good morning, Kathy, Hannah, Nabil, Mac, Norm, Dana, Dina, Mati, Eleanor, Sarid, Yaakov, and Yael. Happy Hanukkah, guys. Thank you for tuning to Computers 2K Now. We hope you enjoyed and maybe learned something from our time together. Remember to practice safe computing, back up your hard drive, and update your virus scanner. And change any same passwords where you use them. We'll be back here next Sunday at 9, but you can always reach us at computers2know.com. Monday through Friday, 5 to 6 a.m., Nick hosts the Carolina Journal News Hour on WBT. In Charlotte, 11:10 a.m. and 99.99 FM. And it's also on YouTube, but you can also tell your Echo device to play tune in and the name of and WBT. Yeah, you would say, Alexa, play tune in WBT at that time. And Nick and Brian also host the Infection podcast on Twitch. This is for survival games, gaming news, and some political points here and there. So just go to infectionpodcast.com to find out when is the live show, or just download the podcast and listen to it on your own at your own time. Again, have a happy Hanukkah, Merry Christmas, Happy Kwanzaa, everything that you do. See you next week.
You are tuned to the Nissan Communications Network. If you tuned in too late, you can always watch each program in its entirety or download an MP3 audio file of it in the archives section at nissancommunications.com. Don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel, follow us on Twitter, and like us on Facebook. Sponsored by StreamingGear.com and DeltaForce.net.